This series is dedicated to YAH, the God of the universe, who with wisdom created everything that exists, and so beautifully and perfectly. Look around. This world is absolutely fascinating. Life is full of energy and intelligence, but by understanding the origin of the two, it is easy to conclude that life was created by a powerful and intelligent being. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred. This isn't a theory, but one of the most fundamental laws of physics. That means the energy that exists in our universe today couldn't just appear out of nowhere. If energy can't create itself, then the universe couldn't have simply exploded into existence by chance. Even space and time, the very fabric of reality, are physical properties that require energy to exist. So if space, time, and matter all require energy to be transferred into being, the real question is, what or who initiated that transfer? Now let's take it a step further. Intelligence, information, patterns, codes, and structured languages don't randomly assemble themselves. When you see a book, you know it has an author. When you encounter a complex program, you know a programmer wrote it. Why? Because information, especially organized, meaningful information, always originates from intelligence. The same principle applies to life itself. DNA isn't just a molecule. It's a sophisticated code, a blueprint packed with precise instructions for building and sustaining life. But here's the key. DNA didn't write itself. The level of organization and specificity in DNA is far beyond what random processes could ever produce. In fact, the probability of DNA's complexity forming by sheer chance is so astronomically small that it defies logic to believe it happened without intelligence behind it. For instance, just one human cell, just one, contains roughly 3 gigabytes of data, a library of information, and if printed, it would fill hundreds of volumes of encyclopedias. The sheer complexity of DNA is enough to prove to any reasonable person that chance played no role in its origin. So the real question isn't whether DNA points to intelligence. It's whose intelligence wrote the code of life. I believe Genesis has the answer. Genesis 1 verse 1 begins with a profound statement. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. In these few words, Genesis presents the creation of time, space, and matter. In the beginning marks the creation of time. The heavens refers to space, and the earth represents matter. This fundamental verse provides not just a theological perspective, but also a lens through which we can explore the universe's origin scientifically. To understand this creation narrative, we must explore the original Hebrew language. In Hebrew, the term translated as God is El, meaning power, and Elohim, which is powers. This isn't a reference to multiple deities. Instead, it emphasizes the infinite abundance of Yah's powers. For example, Deuteronomy 10:17 calls Yah the power of all powers, the supreme authority and ultimate force behind all existence. In this sense, power and energy are synonymous, underscoring Yah as the eternal source of all energy. Genesis continues to describe the earth as formless and void, with darkness covering the deep. This ancient description aligns perfectly with the modern concept of dark matter. Dark matter is a mysterious substance observable in the universe through advanced technology like infrared telescopes. What we have here in Genesis is a direct reflection of the universe before the introduction of light. Genesis tells us that when YAH spoke, light came into existence. Science provides a fascinating parallel in the phenomenon of sonoluminescence, where sound waves create bursts of light when projected into a liquid. This all aligns with the biblical description of light being spoken into existence. When YAH spoke, his voice shaped the deep waters, forming ripples and patterns in light. YAH then separates the light from the darkness, and coincidentally, scientists observe that dark matter does not interact with light. Genesis makes it clear that this creation wasn't random. In fact, Proverbs speaks of wisdom as a guiding force, present from the beginning, working in harmony with the creation of the earth. And wisdom wasn't just present, it was essential to the formation of everything we can see and beyond. In Genesis, the spirit of Elohim moving over the waters represents this wisdom, a divine intelligence shaping the universe with purpose and order. When we examine Genesis through the lens of its original Hebrew context and modern scientific understanding, we find a narrative that bridges theology and science. YAH is revealed as the supreme power, the source of energy, wisdom, and life itself. The question is not whether science and scripture can coexist, but whether we can recognize the harmony between them.
What if after you died, you ran into God? He said, what have you been doing, Richard? I mean, what have you been doing? I've been trying to be nice to you.
Yeah.
I gave you a multi-million-dollar paycheck over and over again with your book, and look what you did.
Bertrand Russell had that point put to him, and he said something like, "Sir, why did you take such pains to hide yourself?"
In part 3 of this series, we'll explore this very question. Why have YAH, the creator of us all, hidden his face from us? Stay tuned as we dive deeper and reveal the answers that have eluded many for centuries.